Hey people and people that are into the paranormal, urbex, getting out and about, creatures, any type of creatures I suppose, cats and other things. Now I've got to introduce a new rescue. I know I'm terrible. Some people know about this one and some people don't. Now, apparently this was given up because the lady that owned this snake, her son didn't like, yes, it is a snake, owned this snake, decided that she couldn't keep it because one, it got put into a back room, so it was getting ignored, and two, her son was having, well, not physically him, his girlfriend was having a child, and they didn't want the snake in the same house. So since they're going on a bit of a wander, this is Loki. Now, I don't like the actual name of the snake, which I'm thinking of changing, but this is him. Yes, it's a male snake, and he's about, from what I was told, about 2 or 3 years old. And he is in the UK known as a royal python, but mainly by everybody else, a ball python. Now, he's not any morph, so he's just the basic colours, which I'm not too bothered about. To me, he's still a snake. And yeah, he seems a good size. The only thing I wasn't too impressed was the actual, what the hell do you call it, enclosure he came in was filthy, so she didn't bring him a hide. She said that she had him in a cardboard box, so I immediately threw that away and I bought him her hide. She forgot the water bowl, so luckily I was getting water bowls. I still need to get some more for when the other snakes get bigger, because I'd rather prepare for when they get bigger rather than them being like running around like, oh, sugar, sugar, sugar. I've got nowhere to put them. You know, it's that sort of malarkey. So, yep. So, yeah, there's a water bowl that I bought, and he's already got it. I cleaned the enclosure, gave it a good deep clean, which I'll show you afterwards. So basically, I've had this snake for slightly over a week. And I was trying to leave him for a while, but I think, whoops, I'm trying to move my legs. Hard work. Yeah, there's my knee brace, which is a pain in the neck. But anyway, to give him a bit of space, but I think, judging from him, he could be going into pre-molt, because I can see it around the face. The eyes haven't changed yet, and he does look like quite dull in colour, because usually it's a nice shiny colour. Now, he's been hiding because that's what they're known for, and they can go on the defence. So I was letting him rest, picking him up the odd time, but now it's a case of, well, now that he's been here a while and he's probably getting used to all the smells and all the rest of it, because these snakes kind of rely on the actual heat sensors which are in their faces. These are a constricting snake, and obviously I don't have any sort of license. So these why I have these types of snakes. And I'd rather just stick to them. Now, he will probably get to about, I don't know, 5 foot, something like that. 6 foot. They don't get that big. They do get a bit girthy, but that's about it. They can get a bit, like I said, defensive. But majority of the times, they just like to just hide and just keep away from you, basically. That's why I'm going to try and bring them out every day to get used to me. Like I do with all my creatures. I've got to take my time. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, see, that's how he backs off. Keep touching him, and he's probably just using my heat, because obviously reptiles can't produce their own heat. They have to rely on the heat from the sun. So obviously they have the spotlight. Or he did have a heat pad, which I wasn't too impressed in the enclosure, inside it, which I removed. because at the end of the day, he's on top of Forest's enclosure. And her enclosure is very, very warm. Just using my bags out of the way. So, he does have some heat. He doesn't really have much light. Do you? So, I don't know whether you can see him. I'll bring him over a bit. Trying to get him out, get him used to me. I'll keep him out for a couple of hours and put him away. And then bring him out again tomorrow. But if he goes into more pre-shed, I will leave him alone. Unless he needs a bit of a soak, which he probably will do. Give him a bit of a soak in a box to help him. But like I do with Forest, I kind of give her a bath each week, and they can just help soak the skin, helps remove any of the shed. And obviously I'd have to keep an eye that his eye caps come off, because obviously if the eye caps stay on, it can do damage to the vision, and obviously not good, which I wouldn't want to happen. This is why Forest the other week, but obviously I wasn't on camera, she actually had a bit that was in one of her ears, and I've actually got some really, really small tweezers and actually removed them. But yeah, now this is the most he's been doing, because majority of the times he has been hiding away, so he is getting some confidence, which is what I want. You can probably smell the log that he had with him, but I didn't like it because he kept hiding away and I couldn't get to him. So, and it's actually got snake poop inside, so it's going to have to be given a good clean. So I'll probably scrub it all and then clean it with some bicarb soda, because obviously it's non-toxic. And yes, I know you're very, very jumpy. Yeah, it's non-toxic, and yeah, I should clean everything out. I can't buy any stuff for, what the fudge do you call them, for mites at the moment, but I am purchasing some to obviously just be a temporary measure, because if you get mites in all your collection, apparently it's very, very hard to remove. I already have stuff for the spiders to prevent if any accidents happen. I bought that ages ago. I'd rather have something that's to prevent anything. I don't know completely the full thing about first aid on creatures, which is something I really do think people should do, especially for the UK. Now, I haven't got a clue where he's going. Now, I'm not scared. I shake naturally. So, yeah. You can probably smell his log, but he's not going in it. Because if he goes in there, I won't see him again. But I'll probably put him away in his home soon. I can actually feel the full strength of this snake. It's pretty impressive. And I'm going to keep like I said, I'm going to keep bringing him out. And yeah, just enjoy being with him. Now, I always find it's best to always ask other people information that you don't know. Now, I'd rather not ask shopkeepers, because what they mainly want to do is pass you off a creature, and they probably know as little information than ever. So it's best to always ask actual breeders or people that own several the information of what to do. So I do actually know a few people. I do know that Terry Williams, who's the other half of the lady from Unusual Pets, he gives me pretty good information. And I would rely on somebody like Phil Barber from, Incredible Inverts and Other Creatures. He's got some good knowledge on creatures. I always like to, make sure I know what I'm doing. I mean, I do know basics, but if I don't know enough, I always find it's a good idea to get some sort of backup from other people. So that's what I do. I mean, I've had snakes before. I've always been careful with them. I have actually, when I used to have my king snakes, been bit by them. But that was my own fault, because king snakes can be a bit on the bitey side. So I have actually given this one a bit more confidence, because look at the way he's moving from when you seen him at the beginning of the video, where he was just tucked away. So I always say, before you touch any creature, make sure you wash your hands before and after. If an animal detects something that could represent something they eat, chances are they may chomp on you. Not because they're being awkward, it's because they're going by their sense of smell. And that's what they use their tongue for. Their tongue, which is attached to the Jacobson organ, I can never get that word right, is where they actually taste the air with their tongue. And obviously they can breathe through that when they're swallowing their food, the organ in their mouth. Now, like I said, I don't know every bit of information. I always ask. If I don't know, I ask. Don't ever go to somebody like a shopkeeper who claims they know everything, but at the end of the day, all they want to do is sell you a product. So you spend more and more and more money. So, oops, trying to not get to upset him. So, yes, always look round and make sure. Now, I don't know where my nearest reptile vet is, but I know for a fact I can look. Now, I am thinking of changing his name, because to me, I don't think he is a Loki. So we are going to come up with some names, and I will do a poll on my community page. So please either click on the ones that you like, or think of another one, but definitely not Loki. Chances are we'll come up with something a bit unusual, like I do with everything else. We've already got Sebek, Ouroboros, and now don't know what we're going to do for this one, since this one's a male and the other two are females. Just let Loki go into his enclosure. He's in there. And he did have another log, but I took it out because he keeps going in it, and I want him to gain confidence. Now, the back of it I'm not too pleased about. I actually put sticky pads on there because it had pieces of sellotape, which was no good. So eventually I'll have to fit some stuff in it. I'm not too impressed with the enclosure itself, because I think he needs a new one at some point. The glasses still had sticky tape on. That's from the thing it's in between. And that's the bowl that I put in. Now, all the substrate I changed. This is the substrate I use for mine. So, like I said, I deep cleaned it all. He's not eaten here, but it's no good if he's going into pre-shed to try and feed him. And they can get a bit funny about eating. I don't see how bad he'll be yet. And then obviously downstairs we have our lady who's in the corner because she's trying to rub the rest of her shed off. She is getting quite a lot of it off now. So she's down there. Move this because it's for my knee, which I lean on a lot. So yeah. And as you know, she had a deep clean possibly a few days before I went to BTS. So she's in there. She's been rubbing herself around there. And yes, there will be videos of her having a bath. Normally is. I'm going to give her a bath during the week to help a bit more. So she is doing well. So, yep. Now, since the clip I was given, that was to go with Forest, I actually used this for the snake. Because snakes are very good escape artists. So I will have to get another one at some point. But just make sure that the tracks are all clear. And then, since I'm doing it the wrong way round, but I'll put it this way. So there's no way it can be moved. She's actually quite good. She wants out, she'll just butt the side and that's it. But this doesn't slide open as easy as his. I believe it or not, this tank or this enclosure is actually bigger than his. But she's got shelving, whereas Loki hasn't. So I do think he does at some point need a new enclosure. And I'd rather have a better setup for putting lights and all sorts in here. Because I'm not too impressed at the moment. Now the other two, whoops, just knocked over the water. The corn snake, Ouroboros, is probably hiding. And so Beck was out before, but it's gone back to bed again. Got a few things in front of here because I've got all bits of skin that's from Forest. Because I actually feed it off to the isopods because they eat it. Because of all the calcium and all the enrichment that's in it. It is good for them. That's just a plant I've been growing. I have to give it some more water. That's got my... What the fudge do you call it? I'm terrible. My mind just goes completely blank. It's got velvet spider in. And in there is a little one. So basically that little one will get as big as this one. Maybe not as big, depends on whether it's male or female. So, yep. Then obviously I've got the setup for all my jumping spiders and so forth. There you go. So here's the lady herself. She's emerged from there now. She's been, like I said, rubbing bits of her skin off. But anyway, it's the end of the video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm still trying to get to 1K. So hopefully I'll get there. And then I'll try and do a giveaway. And also I'm going to do a GoFundMe. Because obviously I need some sort of thing to take me about so I can get out a bit more. Because obviously I'm struggling with my legs. Which... I don't know when I'll get to see a surgeon, and I don't know whether they can help me. So in the meantime, I need to get out more because I'm going to go stir crazy if I stay in any longer. Yes, it's not a nice view seeing her eating, but maybe it is because, yeah, being such a happy little girl that she is. Anyway, thank you for all you new people subscribing. And thank you for you old ones for hanging on and sticking with me throughout my ups and downs of what's going on behind the scenes. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Say goodbye, Forest.